What inspires, excites, and drives today's man? I'm Cris Collinsworth. The answers inside the vault. Today, what if you could take a mulligan in life?
Not only did I take a mulligan, I kicked it a few times. I picked it up, dried it off.
Actress and host Jill Wagner, comedian Alonzo Bodden join me and top experts from Vanity Fair and Motor Trend to answer the huge question, if you were given a do-over, how would you use it? What's inside the vault? Everything you ever wanted to know about the interests, hobbies, and pursuits of men. That's what. Harrison Ford is a rescue pilot. Vanity Fair is breaking down the star hobbies you'd never, ever guess. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? Why your hobby may be hiding the answer. Don't think starting over is possible? Think again.
Some people figured it was just a midlife crisis. It'd maybe take 3 months to come back.
We've got the story of a big money player who was rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous before he cashed it all in. What inspired him to say no way to Hollywood?
I couldn't imagine myself ever sitting in a corporate meeting anymore.
Plus, we're taking a closer look at the classic cars you always wanted, and we're predicting which cars today will be classics tomorrow. Hey, I'm Cris Collinsworth, and you are inside the vault. Say hi to Jill Wagner and Alonzo Bodden. We've got Vanity Fair's Krista Smith and Michael Hogan here today as well. And I guess the question of the day, and we would all like to take a shot at doing something else, and maybe that's where hobbies come into play, where you get a chance to experiment a little bit with another lifestyle without having to give up your paycheck, right?
Yeah, no matter what you do, there's going to be some part of yourself that's not fulfilled in a 9-to-5 environment. There's a part of you that you can't bring to your job, and that needs expression over time.
From the President of the United States on down, we all have a little something, and I think probably it's a little paranoia too, don't you think? That you better be able to do something else. I mean, if you get laryngitis and you can't tell jokes anymore, it's like, what else is out there? I actually went to law school. Yeah, I went to law school while I was playing football because I knew this was going to end, and it ended soon after that. So there's like, what's your backup plan?
In the line of business I'm in, that definitely crosses my mind, you know, because what am I going to do? I would love to say, hey, I'll be a rock star, I'll come out with a great album, but I can't sing.
I understand that there are some celebrities that really have this sort of passion outside of their profession.
I think in actors in particularly, it's really rough because basically they wear makeup for a living. It's a very
but not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Really.
But it's very subjective. If you're an actor, there's an editor, there's a writer, there's a director, there's a costumer. You go through these series of things. So I think a lot of times actors, they really need to find something other than their craft that they perfect, that they are in control of.
Has there ever been an actor who's like, hey, I'm an actor. What more do you want from me? This is it. This is what I do. I'm a movie star. You know, you ever get somebody like that who's
Jack
just
Nicholson
like, this is
seems to be
Yeah,
okay with what he's doing there. He seems to be all right.
By the way, there's easy one name, Jack.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, let's take a look at some of these celebrities and what they're doing away from the silver screen.
It's easy to see why somebody would need a sideline or a passion. But even Hollywood actors who we think of as kind of living the dream, even these folks need something to do on the side. Will Smith is a fencer. Apparently he learned it from Tom Cruise, who also introduced David Beckham into it. Will Smith likes it because it's great exercise, but it's not too hard on his knees. It must be really hard for Angelina Jolie to get a minute by herself. She's taken up flying planes, being a pilot, and it's got to be exciting for her just to get away from everybody.
Matt loves it. Yeah, loves planes, loves traveling.
Harrison Ford, the thing that he pursues as a passion is being a helicopter rescue pilot. He's done some really amazing work saving people from peril. When Han Solo comes down and saves you, you're probably glad you got lost that day. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, to relax, they play bridge, and they go to the same tournaments together. When they play online, Buffett calls himself T-Bone, and Bill Gates calls himself Challenger. Steve Martin has a bunch of different hobbies. He plays the banjo, he writes novels, he's an art collector. His last novel is about the art world.
Writing, you get to stay home, do it on your own time. You can go to an island if you want to do it. I love to cook. It's actually my main passion.
Gwyneth Paltrow has her newsletter Goop, where occasionally she'll, send these videos of herself making some kind of recipe. She clearly finds it restful and a way to escape some of the stresses of being, a Hollywood superstar. James Franco is in constant motion. He's got like 3 PhDs. He recently wrote a novel. He was on a soap opera.
A lot of these projects might seem random, but I like that they come through different outlets. That's part of the point.
This is a guy who is inspiring for just being able to really express himself and have no qualms about doing it in whatever format that seems to take.
Harrison Ford is a rescue pilot? I mean, legitimate?
Legitimately,
yes, yeah.
That's big time.
You think anyone believes that story when, like, I was trapped in a canyon and Harrison Ford flew in and rescued me, and they'd be like, wow, you're still on meds.
Start singing the theme song.
It didn't take that long to get to that. Yeah.
I have more. I have more of these. Now, in fact, we've set this up as a quiz for you guys so you can test your knowledge of celebrity passions. So let's start with Johnny Depp has an amazing collection of...
Teeth.
No. He probably has like a lot.
Yeah.
This is an unfair question. He probably has a bunch of different collections.
Yeah,
but
don't know.
Guitars.
Guitars.
Krista had it.
Really?
I had it, but I felt
He's
it
a
was little
musician. He
disaffair.
started off as a musician, right?
He did.
He did. He started
Started
in a
the
band
Viper Room,
called
remember?
Kids back in Florida in the early 80s. He kind of fell into acting, so that in a weird way, acting's almost his second chapter.
Well, you completely failed on the first one. Give us another one.
Okay, here's the next one. How did Jon Stewart propose to his wife?
It had to be something. Is it something funny?
It wasn't through the Jumbotron at Yankee Stadium.
No.
He had a special crossword puzzle made for him by Will Shortz, the guy who edits the New York Times crossword puzzle. He's the crossword puzzle fanatic.
So he can actually do that, huh?
Yeah, wow.
Well, I'm impressed already.
Yeah.
That eliminates all the athletes in the world right there. All right, what else?
Next
Give us one more. We need
John
help
Hamm
here. We haven't got anything right yet.
Is in love with this
here we
group
go.
of-
Oh, this is. We've already had this conversation
You know what
with
John
Jill.
Hamm can collect? Jill.
Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
John Hamm is in love with this group of men. That's how I'm going to put it.
Ooh.
The Yankees.
He made an ad for them. It's not the Yankees. The St. Louis Blues hockey.
Oh, really?
He's a
Really?
puckhead.
Big
He's
hockey
obsessed.
You're like the Hollywood type out here. You've got none of that. You just like oohed and awed over those guys. You did not help us. This is your category.
It's really not, though,
You
because
killed
I
us.
don't study up on other actors.
Here.
I don't
Here, we're going to
know
go to the
any of
next
them.
segment. You study. I'm sick of it. All right, coming up next. Imagine
look bad.
you got a dream job making big bucks. As a Hollywood player, you drop everything to chase your passion. You're going to meet that guy next. Coming up on the next Inside the Vault, a return to classic American style. Not retro, not metro. It's all about the mod men.
Nothing sexier, right?
Then, where fast meets fashion, inside the top secret GM Design Center. Guys, we're doubling your GQ IQ, plus a fashion intervention on our set.
I'm not going to argue. I mean, you're an expert. You work for GQ. I tell jokes.
On the next Inside the Vault.